All right. So we are back in the Morrowind Why You Play Morrowind series, which is part 26. And in catching the theme from last session where we ended it by reading a bunch of the varieties of faith, which is basically a very long, not quite comprehensive. I hesitate to use the word treatsy because that implies a full um, version, but certainly a primer, at least, of what the gods are for the Elder Scrolls series and different locations. One of the key focuses of this book, The Varieties of Faith, is that they're different gods in different countries. They're worshipped differently, they show up differently. Certain of the same gods change, either their portfolio aspects or which associations they have. So, oh, sorry, real quick. This corpus meat is wrapped and it is still pulsing. So that's kind of gross. A little strange that he still has that. I wonder if that's from Morrowind Rebirth. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember this being in the base game. Alright, so let's go pick up where we left off. Page 17, I believe, was where we're at. Okay, so Shore, the bad man, in Brittany, bad man is the source of all strife. He seems to be started as the god of crop failure, but most modern theologians agree that he's a demonized version of the Nordic Shore, born during the dark years after the fall of Sarthal. Sep, the snake, Yokunan version of Lorcan, so this is also an astrological sign that you can select at character creation in the Elder Scrolls series. Many of these gods have different constellations associated with them. So Sep is born when Talpapa creates someone to help him regulate the spirit trade. Sep, though, is driven crazy by the hunger of Sakatal, and he convinces some of the gods to help him make an easier alternative to the walkabout. This, of course, is the world as we know it, and the spirits who followed Sep become trapped here to live out their lives as mortals. Sep is punished by Talpapa for his transgressions, but his hunger lives on as a void in the stars, a non-space that tries to upset mortal entry into the far shores. Interesting. So we know that the snake, as an astrological sign, has no one place in the sky or one time in the year that we can see it. The snake moves throughout the year and throughout the many years to threaten different constellations within the pantheon. So that's a very interesting, I guess, an interesting, unique in this world astrological phenomenon. All right, Sherazar, God of Man. Cyrodiilic versions of Locan, whose importance suffers when Akatosh comes to the fore of Imperial, really Elysian religion. I'm not sure what this word Elysian is. We see it a bit in Oblivion and Skyrim. I'm not sure what it is exactly. Sherazar was the spirit behind all human undertaking, especially against Aldmeri aggression. He is sometimes associated with the founding of the first Cyrodiilic battle mages. In the present age of racial tolerance, Sherazar is all but forgotten. Interesting. So, this is not, as opposed to the god of elves or the god of beast folk, this is the god of man, Sherazar. The Cyrodiilic version of Lorcan is one of the creation gods. Okay. Very interesting. Showing that the gods in this world rise and fall depending on the cultural tolerance. Shor, god of the underworld, Nordic versions of Lorcan who take sides with men after the creation of the world. Foreign gods, i.e. elven ones, conspire against him and bring about his defeat, dooming him to the underworld. Okay. Atmoran myths depict him as a bloodthirsty warrior king who leads the Nords to victory over their Altmeri oppressors time and again. Before his doom, Shor was the chief of the gods, sometimes also called children's god. See Orke above. Sothasil, the mystery of Morrowind. Okay, so do we remember the anticipation of Sothasil? It should be Azura. I think, if I'm correct. The mystery of Morrowind, god of the Dunmer, Sothasil is the least known of the divine tribunal. He is said to be reshaping the world from his hidden clockwork city. Okie doke. Stendarr, god of mercy, god of the nine divines, Stendarr has evolved from his Nordic origins into a deity of compassion or sometimes righteous rule. He is said to have accompanied Tiber Septum in his later years. In early Altmeri legends, Stendarr is the apologist of men. It's always good to have an apologist for men. God knows they need it. Stidune, god of ransom, Nordic precursor to Stendarr, brother of Sun, shield thane of Shor. Stidune was a warrior god that fought against the Altmeri pantheon. He showed men how to take and the benefits of taking prisoners of war. Interesting. That sounds like a very Nordic thing to do. Sirbane, Warlock's god and Altmeri god ancestor of magic, Sirbane aided Bendu Olo in the fall of the Slode. I didn't realize that the Slode did fall, but that seems good. Did the Altmeri fight the Slodes? We see them crop up earlier in some of the Dark Elf legends about the mud crab that's actually a human, the talking mud crab merchant. Though judicious use of his magical ring, Sirbane saved many from the scourge of the Thracian plague. He's also called the Apprentice's God, for he is a favorite of the younger members of the Mages Guild. Nice. Students. The god of students. Always an important god. Tava, bird god. Jokundan, spirit of the air. Tava is most famous for leading the Jokundans to the Isle of Herne after the destruction of their homeland. She has since become assimilated into the mythology of Kinnereth. She is still very popular in Hammerfell amongst sailors, and her shrines can be found in most port cities. Nice. Tiber Septum, Talos the Dragonborn. Going to be very important in Oblivion. Heir to the seat of Sundered Kings, Tiber Septum is the most important hero god of mankind. He conquered all of Tamriel and ushered in the Third Era and the Third Empire, also called Yeezmir, Dragon of the North. Trinamek, strong god of the early Altmer, in some places more popular than RL. He was a warrior spirit of the original elven tribes that led armies against the men. Boethia is said to have assumed his shape. In some stories, he even eats Trinamek. Yeah, that's the one I know. So that he can convince a throng of Altmer to listen to him, which led to their eventual Chimeri conversion. Okay, so we're getting more details, more clues about what's the difference between Chimmer is and Aldmer. I'm still very kind of curious about that. Just getting something to drink real quick. Okay. I didn't realize that he originally started as an Altmer god, because I'm used to seeing him as just the god of the orcs. And Boethia, seems to do a number on him. He eats him. Okay. So he vanishes from the early mythic stage after this to return as the dread Malakath. Aldmeri propaganda portrays this as the dangers of Dunmeri influence. Interesting. So we're seeing some Altmer against Dunmer propaganda. Difference between the High Elves and the Dark Elves. I suppose they would have reason to kind of not trust each other and be at each other's throats. To be honest, like, there are certain games that kind of ask you to play certain races. I think Morrowind definitely has a strong bias or pressure to play Dunmer. But also, like, Dunmer is just a good race in almost every single worldview. Because, I don't know, I guess Skyrim really asks you to be a Nord. It makes a lot of sense if you're a Nord in Skyrim. But, you know, the Dunmer have all the reason in the world to not like the High Elves as well. Soon, the extinct Nordic gods of trials against adversity died defending shore from foreign gods. Interesting. So he's a god of adversity who died. So he succumbed to his portfolio. Tuwaka, trickery god, Yokunin god of souls. Tuwaka, before the creation of the world, was the god of nobody really cares. Amazing. When Talpapa undertook the creation of the walkabout, Tuwaka found a purpose. He became a caretaker of the far shores and continues to help Redguards find their way into the afterlife. That's really sweet. I like that. His cult is sometimes associated with Arkay and the more cosmopolitan regions of Hammerfell. So he's a guide to the afterlife, but he's also a trickery god, and he's the god of nobody really cares, which is just hilarious. When I read that, I thought it was Khajiit, but in fact, it's Hammerfell. This is actually a great source of information about Hammerfell because we don't usually see that much information about Hammerfell and Redguards. Fun fact, my first playthrough in Morrowind when I was a kid, I think I was often a Redguard. I think I was pretty much primarily a male Redguard because it's really strong, has a big defense against disease, and they're just great warriors. And I think that's what I picked. I think I was like a stealth thief. Okay. Like a stealth fighter. Like a scout of some kind. Alright, Vivek, master of Morrowind, warrior poet, god of the Dunmer. Vivek is the invisible keeper of the Holy Land, ever vigilant against the dark gods of the volcano. He/she has saved the Dunmeri people from certain death on numerous occasions, most notably when he/she taught them how to breathe water for a day so that he/she could flood Morrowind and kill the Akaviri invaders in the Second Era, 572. Wow. So I'm not sure if Akaviri is the Imperials, like the early Imperials, because Akaviri blades are samurai swords, I think, that are used in Oblivion. Pretty sure. It's either that or High Elves. I think it's humans, though. Xarxes is the god of ancestry and secret knowledge. He began as a scribe to Ariel and has kept track of all the Aldmeri accomplishments, large and small, since the beginning of time. He created his wife, Ogma, from his favorite moments in history. I was about to say, like, same. The god of ancestry and secret knowledge. I'm like, that's a kindred spirit for me. I really like this god. And then he's like, oh, he created his wife from his favorite moments in history. And I'm like, oh, sad. Forever alone. Y'ffre, god of the forest. Most important deity of the Bosmeri pantheon, while Ariel, time dragon, might be the king of the gods. The Bosmer revere Y'ffre as the spirit of the now. According to the Wood Elves, after the creation of the mortal plane, everything was in chaos. The first mortals were turning into plants and animals and back again. Okay, seems cool, shapeshifters. Then Y'ffre transformed himself into the first of the Elonfe, or earth bones. After these laws of nature were established, mortals had a semblance of safety in the new world because they could finally understand it. Y'ffre is sometimes called the storyteller for the lesson he taught the first Bosmer. I think Bosmer have some shape-shifting ability as well. Some Bosmer still possess the knowledge of the chaos times, which they can use to great effect the wild hunt. Okay, so we see this in A Dance in Fire as well. That the Bosmer, when they have their backs up against the wall, they can release the wild hunt, which is absolutely terrifying. And Hercene, I believe, would be the god of that, at least in Skyrim and in Oblivion. Of course, the Bosmer, the Wood Elves, have their own name for it, Y'ffre. Yeah, I think the Wood Elves do have shape-shifting. Just in lore. Interesting that they felt like they couldn't survive because they were turning back into plants and animals all the time. And then Y'ffre's transformation secured their lack of transformation, which gave them the stability to survive because they can understand the world around them. It's a very interesting thought pattern connection there. All right, Yeezmir, Dragon of the North. The Nordic aspect of Talos, he withstood the power of the Greybeard's voices long enough to hear their prophecy. Later, many Nords could not look onto him without seeing a dragon. All right, so we got some Dragonborn aesthetic in there. Zen, god of toil, Bosmeri, god of payment in kind. Studies indicate origins in both Argonian and Akaviri mythologies, perhaps introduced into Valenwood by Kothrengi sailors. Ostensibly an agricultural deity, Zen sometimes proves to be an entity of a much higher cosmic order. His worship died out shortly after the Khonten flu. That's interesting that the flu would knock out a god of toil, payment in kind. I wonder if there's a connection there. Well, we'll need more information if we want to draw that. Okay. Zahent, god of farms. Ukrainian god of agriculture, renounced his father after the world was created, which is why Tall Papa makes it so hard to grow food. Okay, so they need a god to explain why Hammerfell doesn't really grow very good farms, but other countries do. And then Z for Zenithar, god of work and commerce, trader god, member of the Nine Divine. Zenithar is understandably associated with Zen in the Empire. However, he is a far more cultivated god of merchants and middle nobility. His worshippers say, despite his mysterious origins, Zenithar is the god that will always win. Interesting. Work and commerce, the god that will always win. Huh. And then Zen, his earlier one, has died out. The god of toil. Toil and then work and commerce, or trader god. Okay. Well, that does it for this. I forgot exactly why we were in this location. I think we were going to sell things because we were over encumbered, but we can't do that very well here. We need some merchants. Okay, let's kind of go from there.
Where is that slave?
Huh, this seems important. Let's see what it gives us. Oh, it doesn't give us anything. See how long it is. Not very long. All right. Harvest End, 3rd Era 172. Chimere, Master Sorcerer, Summoner, and Draene Retainer. Chimere Gragan, so Chimmer, again, is coming up a bunch, was a retainer of the ambitious Draene clan. The Draene derived the bulk of their power from the traffickings with Daedra, very profitable but risky path to success. Chimere was perhaps the cleverest and most ambitious of the Draene summoners. He dared to scheme against Lord Dagon and won. When his trick succeeded, Dagon was cast into oblivion. However, In the instant of his betrayal, Dagon struck out against the mortal who tricked him. Chimeri's pact assured that he would live forever in his hometown among the happy voices of his friends and countrymen. Twisting the literal words of Chimeri's pact, Dagon scooped up a tiny Calcili island, a small island off the coast of Northmoor, and hurled it into the void. All Chimeri's friends and countrymen were instantly killed, though the sounds of their voices remained to torment Chimeri's memory. Chimeri was condemned to live forever, to grow progressively old and crippled with arthritis, and to contemplate the tragic consequences of his defiance of fate and fortune in cheating a Daedra lord. The armor of the Savior's hide, created by the Daedra Lord Malekith. This armor has the marvelous property of turning the blow of an Oathbreaker. Chimeri tricked Dagon into swearing an oath against the powers which he had no intention of keeping. The hide of the Savior turned Dagon's titanic fury long enough for Chimeri to deliver his own attack, an incantation invoked upon Dagon's protonomic, i.e. incantory true name. Okay. Unfortunately, like many of Malekith's gifts, the armor is a mixed blessing. It also makes its wearer exceptionally vulnerable to magical attacks, so one should only wear it for particular occasions. Dagon's protonomic. Chimeri used Dagon's protonomic in an incantation to invoke a sorcery that would gradually drain all of Dagon's power into the void. Chimeri miscalculated, however, not realizing that Dagon's resistance could slow the draining of its power, even if it could not stop it. As a result, Dagon had the time to curse Chimeri with a literal fulfillment of the terms of his bargain with Chimeri. Rather than let his power drain into the void, Dagon cast it all into his curse. As a result, Calcini Island was cast into the void, all its citizens were horribly slain, and Chimeri was condemned to live forever among the ruins of his greatest ambition. Rituals of the Hunt. The Chapel of the Innocent Quarry. Chimeri believes that Dagon had Calcili Island established as the site of the Chapel of the Innocent Quarry to personally mock and torment Chimeri. The green crystal structure was created by enchantments and is the only building on the island erected since it was ripped from Tamriel and loosed into the void. The spear. Supposedly the spear of bitter mercy used in the wild hunts could not be handled by any mortal or immortal save the ones sanctified to the hunt and bound by its strictures. However, Chimeri was determined that though the spear's power is great, it is not unlimited, and that certain enchanted items, for instance the armor of the Savior's hide forged by Malekith, are sufficient to protect any mortal or immortal bearer from its maleficent energies. Okay, so there's a few. We keep seeing these prop line indexes here. And keys. I like this guy, so I don't want to rob from him particularly. Arcana Restored, a handbook by Wampna Nestra Praptor Emeritus. Okay. Yeah, let's we'll read those another day. Passage of the text, the vagaries of Magicka, but take care lest power enfeeble the fundaments and curtail the flow through the congrees, except when functions be warranted, and safeguard that the congrees shall not be abused by prideful wizards, confident in their skill and blinded by their ambitions. In this hold the ordering of the congeries among the oldest and most trusted of mages, and make secure this ordering through the arcane codes and keys to confound even the most clever students. The restorals must be most carefully guarded, for how often have even a wise lusted to overreach their bodies and souls with vitality and mana, and also must the magica fountains be dampened and banked, sanctioning their engendering only to the reconsecration of essential arcane energies and templates, and then only by common assent of the council. Okay, so this is about magica wells, which I believe are found in Tamriel. In Oblivion, you can go and see them. They're very important if you're playing a mage. And yep, he has a lot of books about them, it seems like. Sixth Moon. Alas, the battle spire appears to be falling into the hands of evil. Their many attempts in the past have failed until now. Dagon seems to have new minions at his side this time. These new horrors are not at all too powerful beyond our magics and weaponry, but their numbers are feverishly great. We grow low on supplies and soldiers for this holdout. I fear the worst. Eighth Moon. I have presented to the few remaining battle mages my last hope plan. I will fight my way to the bowels of the battle spire, where I will mount Dagon Papre, my dragon companion, from his lair. We will take flight. Since the Weir Gate has been taken, teleportation is not possible. Only Papre can make such a journey to the Imperial Palace. There, we will report the evil infection and return with a regimental force of rescue. May the powers be with me. Ninth Moon. It is as I feared. A carcass is all I have come to find. They have sealed the main gate so Papre could not escape. I am not sorrowful, though, for I will be eternally reunited with Dragon Papre. Hope for the living is lost. My name is Samar Starlover. Tell my sister I am dead, and if all the seas were ink, I could not write enough how I shall miss her. Oh, wow. That's really sad. So they killed his dragon, apparently. That's really sad. Lots of interesting books in these Telvanni houses here. So I'm gonna do a guess here. I'm gonna see if Alcivi's intervention will take me back to where we need to go. Wow. I have no idea where I am. I'm... Okay. Kanud Temple. Okay. I have never been here before. This seems to be something up here. Maybe a Daedra place. It's further away than Telfir. I don't know if we should keep this on our map and continue here from this, but oh god, that's right. Maybe they'll sell things here for us. Kind of like a battle temple out here.
Go ahead.
May I help you, Outlander?
Yes, you may. Okay. The Ordinators of House Endoro. Training and sneak. Interesting. For a priest. Wow. Who can oppose the law and taxes of the Emperor? His hand lies heavy on our ancient land. Okay. The Daedra are our ancestors. Before the tribunal, we worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they didn't deserve it, since they harmed us as often as they helped us. When they became gods, the tribunal became our protectors and high ancestor spirits. The good Daedra became loyal friends of the tribunal, but the bad Daedra remained foul and treacherous. Okay. Malinkbal, Malekith, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon. In their arrogance and pride, they refused to keep faith with the tribunal. Okie doke. Exclusively dedicated to and answering to Lord Vivek. Huh. Alright. Yeah, I could see how Vivek would want their military to be in charge of some of the books that are written about the Nevermarine. Temple Robe of the Master. Constellations of Prayer. So this is his specific room. I wonder if he's going to be a main character in the temple later. And I also wonder if we should be joining temple quests. Is this so Dawn and Dusk is Azura's domain. The Book of Dawn and Dusk is a collection of sayings, aphorisms attributed variously to the tribunals and their saints and servants. Weird that they have a title that's directly from Azura and has all this, is attributed to the tribunal instead. Of course, Sotha Sil is, the anticipation of Sotha Sil is Azura, so. Right, this is just some sayings. I think we've read that one before. I'm pretty sure that we have. All right. So, a temple for us to get this stuff. That's worth it. Okay, so we can get rid of some of this. Gonna be very important. He has a lot of gold. Chitin is something that I do kind of really want to have. Let's do some real quick. We should have done this before, but I'm not going to go back. Some Charming Touch. Let's see, what can and should we barter? I kind of want to sell these soul gems here. Yeah, I think that It'll be more valuable for us to sell these. Alright, so this armor rating 3 out of 100. This is 50 for 1. So the chitin boots are definitely better. But for more weight, but that's okay. Gauntlet, light armor 50, 25. Alright, so this is better. Absolutely. The pauldrons, not sure. 250 and 200. Weight is 10, it's the same. Armor rating 2, armor rating 3. We can safely sell those. As far as the niche leather pauldrons go, we don't have anything to compare that to, so we're kind of stuck on that. Let's try 300. Okay. All right. That should help our weight a little bit. We still have so much marshmallow, though. I can't think of a way that we can bring that all the way back. So we have 140 of those. All right. Daedra Heart, we need that. Comberry, that's fine. The skin and the heart we're going to keep. Oh, they can't afford it. Okay. Alright, I guess we really cleaned them out. We still have 71 sultries. Yikes. We really collected a lot of alchemy ingredients, didn't we? Alright, my question is, where's your Trilith? How can I pray to save my soul if you don't have a shrine? I really do need it. Maybe it's at the top. Or maybe this is just a pilgrimage site and doesn't have a shrine at all. No, here it is. Saint Veloth. Hey, that's that word that we don't know very well. Skull of Saint Valis. Okay, I don't know what that is. Here lies the blessed skull of Saint Valis, who gave his own life defending the sacred temple and its values from the vampiric cultists of Mullik Bal. Alright. His unflinching sacrifice proved mortality a stronger force than any Daedra, living on in the hearts and minds of his brethren and the descendants of their children's children. Okay, that's really cool. Topaz, Sapphire. Saint Velis, huh? I mean, I want to know who that is. Who's Saint Velis? Maybe I should ask the head temple guy here. What did he give me? Velis Indwelling. 10 Magicka. Not bad. Alright. I'm going to be right back. Okay, we're back.
There is someone watching me. I can tell.
Hmm. I wonder if there's something that I need to do in this region. If this is a special pilgrimage site of any variety. We're gonna put this thing on our map. Also, and then we're gonna go back to Sothasil and do our quest turn-in. She probably won't be very happy with us because we freed the slaves instead of, I don't know, murdering them, I guess was the alternative. Let's see, there's a family tomb over there. And maybe a bandit camp. Oh, this Hackalow and Wickwheat. That's new. Didn't realize that those were out here. Hackalow is pretty useful. I'm excited to upgrade our light armor set to chitin. Okay. Let's get some of our fatigue back at least. Make sure there's no enemies out here. Okay. I wonder if these are the Velothi Towers. Because they have the ash pits right there, which... Propylon chamber. Which I think are for the ancestor bones. Yeah, we see we got lots of bones out here. And a well. Okay. Of course, the only people that are probably living in these might not be very good people. Definitely seems like a dungeon to me. I'd like to see what a propylon chamber is because it seems like fast travel of some variety. Okay. Hi. Yeah, there's... Do not have the index for this propylon. Indorian. Telestro. So, I suppose if you hold a certain thing and you stand in there, it'll teleport you as a method of fast travel. That's pretty interesting. Pretty cool. Okay, well, we figured out what that was. Now let's just make our way all the way back. Was this the temple or was this always Felestrano? Okay, that's, yep. That's definitely some bad guys. Wonder if we can get our friend the guard over here to help.
What is it, citizen?
Hey, do you see this?
You will suffer.
Ordinators apparently don't love me enough to help me. Wow. I wonder if he'll still be there if we, when we come back. Yep, okay, he's right here. He healed too. Wow. Okay, well if he's healing, then we're gonna have to buff before we go out there. He's just waiting outside for us, day in and day out. Alright, well we'll see how he likes dealing with a hunger. Hey buddy. You wanna go outside? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, good luck. Gosh, these bandits are pretty harsh sometimes. Titan War Axe. I have half a mind just to go back in and sell all this stuff. Adishai Ahandrian. Nope. Dispose of corpse. They're militant scholars. Ah, nice. Sounds like a fun thing to be. Villa taught the difference between the good and bad Daedra, and won the aid of the good Daedra for his people while teaching how to deal with the bad Daedra. Interesting. Oh man. It's getting pretty hard, but we're chipping away at the bandit population, and I don't think they come back, so that's important. Each leather boots, we know that they're worse than our boots. The gauntlets, we know that they're worse than our gauntlets. And I think that was it. I think that was all he had. Oh, and the war axe, of course. Yep. That seems about right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so more endurance level ups, and then we can put the rest into intelligence, I suppose. That would be the medium armor. This person is too poor in many ways to buy our things. Let's take at least what we can from them. Perhaps the heaviest things are the eggs. Okay, never mind. Should we clear out the bandit camp over there and get that tomb on our map? And then potentially deal with this bandit? That's the question. I think, yeah, okay. I think we got it. Serpentine. interesting that they do back all the way up. Ah, jeez. Backed himself right up into another enemy. Actually, you should do this. He's out of arrows, maybe? Maybe not. I'll just rest while we let our ghosts and skeletons do the work for us. Oh. There we go. Alt. Chitin stuff again. Chitin helm, arrows, common pants, common shirt, common shoes. Okay. Oh, we cleared out the bandit from this area. In their little camp. At least our skeletons can kill rats. Always nice. Acolo kind of looks like aloe vera. Also a pretty great miracle plant. Talos Ancestral Tomb. Okay. Come on, skeleton. You got this. There we go. Okay, well, that was about our time. So we're going to go ahead and put a page break in this and start the next chapter, where we will be kind of finishing up our interesting little detour to Falenstro, where we found a temple dedicated to a saint that we know is associated with the difference between good and bad Daedra. Of course, there's that family tomb there, which we could go in and investigate at a later date and time, whenever we feel like dungeon diving. Okay, that should do it for us. Thank you guys so much for coming by, and I will see you later.